Good evening. It is the 26th day of March 2024. Welcome aboard. It is Uctv News. I'm Sunday Gloria aboard. And in our series of the Holy Week today, we bring to you Easter Triduum, the 3 days prior to the Feast of Easter. The Executive Secretary, Department of Doctrine of Faith at the Uganda Catholic Secretariat, Reverend Father Peter Debo, unfolds the significance of the Easter Triduum. According to Father Debo, each celebration has significant events that are meant to our faith, or rather they are central to our faith. And here is more details.
Easter Triduum is 3 days of preparation prior to the Feast of Easter. These include the Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. Then Sunday is the day on which Jesus Christ resurrected. The days unfold the mystery of Christ's suffering, death, and resurrection. The Executive Secretary, Department of Doctrine of Faith at the Uganda Catholic Secretariat, Reverend Father Peter Debo, explains more.
Easter Triduum is celebrated because it is the summit, it is the climax of the liturgical year. It runs from the evening of Thursday up to the evening of Easter Sunday. These 3 days are actually liturgically 1 day, unfolding for us the unity of Christ's Paschal mystery, namely Christ's suffering, his death, and his resurrection are celebrated during this period of 3 days. And all of these are connected events. And the Easter Triduum celebrates exactly this.
The Easter Triduum marks the end of the Latin season and leads to the celebration of the resurrection during the Mass of the Easter Vigil. Father Peter Debo tells us more about the services that take place during the Triduum, which include the Mass of the Lord's Supper. In this, the farewell meal of Jesus Christ and the washing of the feet, signifying service and an institution of the priesthood, are the main events of this Mass.
The Mass of the Lord's Supper, and that is the Mass on Thursday evening. And during this Mass, 2 important events are celebrated or happen. There is the institution of the Eucharist at the Jesus farewell meal together with his disciples. And secondly, there is the washing of feet, and which is symbolic of service, and which is symbolic of the institution of the priesthood. So 2 key events, 2 key celebrations take place during the Thursday evening Mass. Let me repeat, namely the institution of the Eucharist and also the institution of the priesthood. And you also know the 2 are connected.
Good Friday of the Lord's Passion highlights the crucifixion, death, burial, and resurrection as the central elements of the proclamation of our faith.
Triduum is celebration of Good Friday, which is a celebration of the passion of the Lord, the suffering of the Lord, his crucifixion, his death, his burial, and his resurrection. These are central elements of our proclamation. They are also central elements of our salvation. In this celebration of Friday, there are 3 parts: the liturgy of the Word, there is also the veneration of the cross, which is key because the cross is the central mystery of our salvation. And also there is, in this service of Friday, the Eucharist. But that day, let us take note, there is no celebration of Mass, but people participate, people receive the Eucharist that has been consecrated during the Holy Thursday Mass in the evening.
The Mass of the Resurrection of the Lord, Easter Vigil Mass, celebrates fire, light, our salvation, baptism, and resurrection of Christ.
The Mass of the Resurrection, and that is on Saturday evening or Saturday night, and that's what is called Easter Vigil Mass. And here, let us take note, there is the celebration of fire, which is a symbol of defiance, rejection, opposition to night, to darkness. There is a celebration of light, which is a symbol of the resurrected Christ, the risen Lord. There is also the aspect of the reading of our salvation history. You will note that every Easter Vigil Mass we have several readings, and those narrate, they give account of the history of our salvation from the beginning with the creation up to the most recent times, when Christ became a person and died to save us. And in this sacrament, in this liturgy, the Vigil liturgy, there is also the administration of the sacrament of baptism. And this is the liturgy that celebrates the resurrection of Christ.
As we continue with our series of the Holy Week, tomorrow, Reverend Father Peter Debo takes us through the 6 significant symbols of the Easter Triduum. Nora Osende, Uctv News.
Now, some Catholic dioceses today celebrated the Christmas, on which holy oils used for baptism, catechumens, and the sick are blessed. The Christmas is supposed to be celebrated on Holy Thursday. However, the canonical order gives allowance for bishops to pull the day forward to allow priests serving from distant places or parishes go and celebrate the evening Holy Mass on Thursday. In Kasese Diocese today, as they celebrated the Christmas, priests across the diocese renewed their priestly promises. In his homily, Bishop Francis Kibira emphasized the role of the Holy Eucharist, adding that the foundation of the Church stands on the Eucharist. He observed that the Eucharist strengthens Christians and enables them to live according to God's will.
The Catholic Church increases even in persecution. Jesus offered his own precious blood for the church, which he founded himself on the foundation of the apostles. But the Catholic Church is weak because of our sins, because of our limitedness. The power we stand on is the power of God. God showed his power in the Eucharist. The power of the Eucharist. The Eucharist is beyond what any human being can do. It's beyond what any man can do. The Eucharist is beyond us. We only try to fulfill the command of Jesus. Do this in memory of me. On the 17th, I was in Damascus Seminary. And I told the secretaries, what's the purpose of the priesthood? They all wrote answers. Who is a priest? They all wrote the answers. I have them. And I told them, the purpose of all these priestly institutions that we have is not for you to get a big degree. It's to fulfill the commandment of Jesus Christ. Do this in memory of me. That sacrifice which I did, that sacrifice of mine at Calvary, I want it to be eternally present. That's the command of Jesus. My dear brother priests, Let us serve with joy in our priesthood. Let us be happy in our priesthood, but also very serious in our priesthood. And always remember that priesthood comes from Christ, and never pride ourselves as priests. In the Gospel of St. John chapter 8, verse 54, Jesus says, if I were to seek my own glory, that would be no glory at all. My glory is conferred by my Father. Priesthood is a great mystery and a gift from God. Jesus has chosen us to live with Him and serve with Him and through Him. Our communion and unity as priests and as a diocese is possible only when we seek to encounter Christ. Experience and know Christ as the center of our lives as individuals and as a community of priests, but also as a diocese together with the religious and all the lay faithful people of God. Indeed, the Catholic Church is strongly built on the foundation of the apostles. The Holy Father is in the place of Peter the Apostle, to whom Jesus said in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, I now say to you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my community, and the powers of the underworld will never overpower it. I trust and I believe that there is no power that will destroy the Catholic Church, not even the underworld powers that we cannot see. They are all put under the cross of Jesus Christ. I always like to pray at the foot of the cross of Jesus. And all the powers, that's where Jesus put all the powers under his footstool. And I like to pray in the wounds of Jesus. Pope Francis hides himself in the wounds of Jesus. That is his last prayer before he goes to bed. Hide me in your wounds, and no power will reach the Lord Jesus.
Today, we are celebrating a very big day, the Day of the Priests, and in particular, it is Chrism. In this particular day, when we have Chrism Mass, that's when the bishop consecrates Chrism oil and blesses oils of the sick and also catechumens. These are the oils priests use, the oils we use when we are giving sacraments to the Christians. And also on this day, during Christmas, we priests renew our promises. And it's a very beautiful day. It is so good to us, the priests, that we renew our promises and then see how we're going to move again for the next year. But it's a very beautiful day. And on this day, we celebrate our brotherhood as priests. We come together, have Mass with our bishop, and we cogitate, we try to meditate about our vocation to the priesthood. And it brings us together with our Father, with our bishop, and then celebrate together. And this day would be celebrated on Thursday. Christmas is supposed to be on Thursday morning. But because the parishes are far from the diocese headquarters, the diocese, like now Kasese, the bishop decides that Christmas is celebrated on Tuesday. So that on Thursday, we are in our parishes preparing for Holy Thursday Mass at 3. That's why we don't celebrate on Thursday. But in the entire Catholic Church, Christmas is supposed to be celebrated on Thursday morning. After the Lord's Supper, then now we see us going, after Christmas, then we celebrate the Lord's Supper. So that's it. It's supposed to be celebrated on Thursday. But because of pastoral reasons, for example, parishes are very far, we cannot travel from village parishes, from each parish to come here on Thursday morning and then go back for Holy Thursday Mass. That's how we celebrate it on a Tuesday, so that we go and prepare.
And away from church to parliament, a former leader of opposition Mathias Mpuuga has affirmed that he is not leaving the National Unity Platform Party and that he is there to stay because he is one of the founding members of the party. He says if there are any misconduct behaviors within the party, investigations must be done diligently without wavering some members. This is said at a press conference at Parliament this morning while addressing recent developments within the NUP party. The press conference followed NUP's notification to the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Monk, of their decision to withdraw Mpuuga's nomination to the Parliamentary Commission and replace him with Francis Zake, the Mityana Municipality Member of Parliament.
Questions and speculation have been on for as to whether, where and when I am going. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm here to state that I'm a founder of NUP, like you are aware. I did not join NUP, but I was part of the founding blocks of NUP, where I serve as a deputy president in charge of Uganda. I am also here to reaffirm that I'm not leaving NUP, a party I founded with colleagues, consciously, and I'm not here to do anything to destroy or kill it. At least I'm not invited to do so at this moment. At least nobody has moved me to the level of even thinking about deserting a party I founded. That should be understood. So whoever thought that they're hounding me out of NUP, I'm here to assure them that whichever indiscipline, mismanagement, mischievous maneuvers we are going to be in. If you are a leader, a full soldier with bought data to abuse and insult, you insult me from within, and I'm here for keeps. Secondly, I've seen a copy of a letter circulating on social media. The owner of the copy is visible from the bottom of the letter. It is addressed to the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and I'm only informed of the contents by copy. I will not respond to that letter, except to restate my position as communicated earlier to the party and the nation, that I affirm the fact that I confess no wrongdoing, whether in law or elementary common sense. The position of the law has been clarified to whoever wished to understand, but not to deliberately slander, wanted to slander me, or to gain short-term political capital out of the current situation. So I did state my position. It is the position of the law and common sense. I wish to reassure all comrades in the struggle for a fair Uganda that my commitment has never waned, that I'm not and shall never be part of any form of corruption. I've never been indicted of corruption. I am never corrupt, and nobody will invite me into corruption. So when we find ourselves disagreeable on anything in our midst, as a party, as change-seeking forces, we must find mechanisms for motion, which is different from grandstanding and desire to settle political scores at the expense of reputations of comrades with whom we struggle to offer the country better leadership. Ugandans must be encouraged, and I'm here to encourage Ugandans at all times to question the decisions of their leaders, especially those in higher offices that make a decision on their behalf and acting on their behalf. In the current circumstances, it's not difficult to tell that the objective was never on accountability, because no one provides accountability on social media or at press conferences. These have cast much doubt within the Ugandan populace and our partners beyond our borders is whether our party is capable of handling Hominga's tasks of liberation and effecting solutions to the political and social challenges of our country. We must regain public confidence as NUP and as the opposition, trust and demonstrate that we are worthy the people's support in leading the charge for change and transformation the Ugandan masses are yearning for. You can note that in the current circumstances, like we are observing all over the last 1.5 months, Museveni has been candid to us, at least, over his dynasty agenda, including the latest reshuffles in the UPDF that saw his son ascend to the helm of the country's military. Unfortunately, the largest opposition party in the country looks clueless and unable to guide its bruised cadreship on what next. Even the renewal of the term of the EC commissioners, who bungled and fixed with the last election, did not raise the curiosity of the largest opposition party in the country. Let me now assure the entire NUP leadership, membership and supporters and the general public that NUP is my party, and I harbor no intention whatsoever of leaving, like I said. And the next days or weeks, I will embark with colleagues that concur with the challenges in the party on a program to reform the party and make it a credible party and competent as a party or as a government in waiting. I am aware of our supporters in the diaspora that are very desperate. I'm here to appreciate you. Your immense support is appreciated in building our younger party and the quest for a new Uganda in general. I am aware the diaspora interacts with a lot of information, but largely a lot of misinformation, targeting their justifiable desperation for change. I pledge to you my availability and the clarity of mission and purpose in whatever we do to change the trajectory of our nation.
The Democratic Party, DP, has expressed need for the renewal of the Parliamentary Administration Act so that opposition parties have the power to remove their members from the parliamentary posts. This has been said by the party's Secretary General, Gerald Siranda, while speaking to journalists at their party headquarters here in Kampala, and details follow.
And the Administration of Parliament Act, for us as DP, we have called for that. It needs an amendment. And anybody who wants to help the opposition, because the political parties are the control tower. Political parties are the ones that endorse candidates to go to parliament. Remember, a member of the opposition had even moved a motion on the floor of parliament that the all party whips and the leader of opposition to be voted from the House. I remember the Honorable Segona, in the last parliament, in the 10th parliament, he had moved a motion that they should be voting the law from on the floor of parliament. For me, that's a total disconnect of a multi-party dispensation. Now, the parties are asked to nominate candidates either for party whips and designate these positions. But the parties have no say in the middle when they feel that that person either needs to change and that either that person needs to be redeployed. The parties have no way. And during the appointment, they will ask the party to nominate. To do any change, they say you have no role. What they would do is to go to the floor of parliament and make proposals for the amendment of the rules of the House. Because the rules of procedures, as a member of parliament, you're given two instruments. You're given the Constitution and the rules of procedure. So whatever we are trying to do, I feel for Noop, because the party that delegated you has mandate to redesignate you. But the rules do not allow. What we do is, instead of battle of the grass and who is greater between the water and the grass, is to go and deal with the rules. What President Museveni has done is to completely show you that there is no difference between NRM and PLU. It's just co-opted everybody from PLU into the, so they are now governed under a one party. So those that had questions on whether President Museveni is running, on whether it's, the question was answered. And for me, I just want to wish, it's now not politicking. I hope they can serve where they have been delegated.
Thank you for watching Uctv. It is time now for Today in History. Thank you for being a part of this newscast. We are now going to take a break, and do not forget, we will be coming back with the Rome reports.
Uctv, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success.
You can manage that money.
With a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching Uctv, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Tohoka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a no car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773-597-166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasesegat Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
Uctv, good news for all.
And with that, thank you so much for being a part of this newscast tonight. I am Sunday Gloria Aboch, wishing you a very good evening.